She thinks sleeping with dozens of men empowers her, and even the men she sleeps with agree.
しかし、第6試合、レオリオ氏がボドロ氏の怪我を理由に延期を要求し、先にキルア氏とイタラクル氏が
No, 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 no. Not now.
キルア氏にとって
No.
最大の誤算
She shouts her abortions, and let's just say she shouts a lot. She's a happiness coach, even though she's miserable. She was taught there's over 70 genders in college, and it costs tens of thousands of dollars to learn.
All right, so it's kind of difficult for me to approach this topic because all of the, how should I say, all of the media related, there hasn't been an actual journalist to write a story about what actually happened. So most of this takes place in video clips. Now, most of these video clips are from TikTok. I don't want to use too many video clips because, as you know, YouTube has a problem with copyright, and somebody could just do like copyright infringement or some stupid shit, and then I'll end up, having to fight a copyright and all that. So I'm not going to go that route. What I'm going to do is I'm only going to basically mention the story and show just a small amount of the clips, because I think you have to have like less than 30 seconds or something like that. And I tried not to use the clips because this way I don't have to worry about these copyright infringements or whatever. But the bottom line is I'm going to just show as little as possible and then just do the majority of explanation and talking so that I can fill in the gap. So anyway, this was the story that was on World Star Hip Hop. I believe the story popped up on September 22nd. As I've always said, if you're a Passport Bro and you're looking at Passport Bro news, the only things that tend to come up is the negative. If a Passport Bro goes to like Brazil or Colombia and gets drugged, that you're going to hear about that. If a Passport Bro goes to like Thailand and somehow ends up with a lady boy or whatever it is, you're going to hear about that. If a Passport Bro goes to Africa and gets kidnapped by Idi Amin or something like that, you're going to hear about that. What you're not going to hear about are all the successful Passport Bros. And I have some in my family who've gone to other countries, who've got women from other countries, and in our case, I'll say actually brought them back to America, and they lived basically happily ever after. One of my family members, he went to another country, for example. He got himself a wife in this other country. To this day, they have 3 kids. If you saw the way they were living, like I could easily tell you how they live, but if you saw the way they were living, you wouldn't believe it. You remember how everybody looked at, Dr. Huxtable and Claire Huxtable, and they were like, oh, yeah, these black people don't live like that. I'm like, no. If you were to go to see my uncle, and you were to see his house, and you were to see how they live, and you see how his kids live, if you were Charlie Kirk, you'd be complaining about DEI like almost instantly. You'd be complaining about how he stole some white man's job or whatever it is, because you'd be that jealous of how they live. And they live very wealthy. They live very rich. I have another family member. He went to another country, got himself a wife. They're doing just fine. My point is, you're not going to hear about the success stories. You're not going to hear about the marriages. You're not going to hear about the weddings. You're not going to hear about the lasting marriages. You're not going to hear about the lack of divorce. You're only going to hear about something when it goes bad. That's my point. So in this case, here you have a black man, because that's what a Passport Bro is. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. A Passport Bro is a black man who goes to another country, and he decides to go there for relationships and women specifically because he wants a wife. It's completely natural for men to want a wife. Unfortunately, we live in a system that has basically ruined the women here in America. And the women are constantly getting online and complaining that the men don't want to date them anymore. Now, never mind the fact that men who have approached women have been demonized. They've been called offenders. They've been called assailants. They've been called grapists and whatever you want to say. Never mind that these men have decided, okay, if approaching these women is a threat.
Welcome. Welcome to Two Runners right now. And yeah, we just want to talk about this situation with the woman, that this man has brought over to America, and she has been so disrespectful. You know, my thing is that, you know, yes, this happens to it happened to many other people, the same situation, but the disrespect is just at a different level. You know, it's bad enough that she came over here on false pretenses, you know, with not wanting to make this thing work. She came over here and, you know, but to be so disrespectful to the guy who tried to make her life better. That's why I think she doesn't understand what she's doing and how she's making, the continent, especially Kenya, look bad, because this brother went all the way overseas. Most likely the brother was trying to keep it black, trying to keep it, I'm going to find me a black princess, and, I'm going to give her my heart, my hard work, and I'm going to, give her a better life, and, we're going to have this kid, and I'm going to try to be the best man I can. And, we don't know everything that happened, but what we can see is that, she's only been over here a month. She's been working to get her green card. She's been working to get her independence. She has worked to get away from him and start her life with some other people who wouldn't probably give her the time of day. She would never be over here if she was depending on the guys that she's now trying to be with. But, like I say, you gotta vet, you gotta watch out, you gotta check her family, you gotta do all the things if you wanna make a woman your wife. You're gonna have to really check her out very, very rigorously, very strongly, and hope to be lucky. Sorry about that, but it's just a very bad look, and you can see the brother was trying to do the right thing, but the most important thing is you can't worry about the color, you can't be worried about their, you have to worry. The most important thing is she going to be on your program? Does she respect you? Is she willing to follow you? And you have to be able to understand, if I need to send her back, I have to send her back. If she's not going to be on my program, I cannot be with her. I cannot get with her. If she changes up on me, you have to let her go. So, this is part 2 of Two-Faced. And, brothers, I wish the best for you. I wish the best for him. I hope he knows that he still has power in the situation, because she's a green card holder, and this is what it seems to be fraud, that she tried to marry under false pretense, especially being here under a year and leaving the child with you and out in the streets of Vegas with a bunch of old. I don't even want to laugh because it's actually sad, but hey, we're going to have to keep it real. Brothers, stay strong. Don't let this happen to you. Peace. Two Runners right now.
Privilege. You do not have privileges. Speaking to me is a privilege. Speaking to me is a privilege. You do not have privileges.